Today is Monday, January 11th, 2016, and the title of this rant will be the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops Against Women. Now, this is an election year now that we're in 2016, and though many of us would like to think that the culture wars are over because of the recent United States Supreme Court decision in favor of gay marriage as legal in the United States, the Catholic bishops and their proxy organizations are going to be gearing up for a big fight. You add to that the evangelicals and Pentecostals of the other Christian denominations, and we could have a very, very strong cultural war that could be going on in 2016. And the whole basis of that is to bring out more white voters. So I'm going to go back a little bit, but in 1978 or 79, I think it was 78, Paul VI died. They elected another Italian. He became John Paul I. He lasted about a month. There were rumors that he actually was murdered. That never was even remotely close. It could possibly even be proven, unless they exhumed the body, and that wasn't going to happen in the Vatican. And they elected John Paul II, who preceded Reagan by a short amount, anti-communist, and very much anti-women in a lot of ways, and a very, very conservative Catholic, let's just say. And what he did, John Paul, is that he stacked the deck with bishops into becoming cardinals, and getting cardinals in who were right in line with his political thinking. So both Reagan and John Paul, very conservative. And we see the same type of mentality, I'm not talking about economics, mentality from the U.S. Catholic bishops, as with Christian conservatives, and also the leadership of much of the Republican Party, especially those who are running for office of the presidency right now. But let's get to the main point. So, like I said, a lot of people were relieved in terms of the gay marriage issue. But again, the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops wants to extend protections for businesses so that they have legal protections to discriminate against gay marriage couple, and can discriminate against women in terms of their contraceptive health, and LGBT people in general. And this discrimination, they want to codify into law. And when we're talking about, I just want to go into this shortly, contraception itself. They don't even understand the biology of the whole thing correctly, but that just doesn't seem to be lost on the four Catholics who are on the Supreme Court. They seem to don't understand that either. And I shouldn't be laughing, but that's how it's playing out. Because we know that if women are given control of their bodies, are allowed to make their health issues as to when would be an appropriate time for them to conceive and to have a child, then they will make the right decisions. We also know that when contraception goes up, then abortions go down. But these bishops are pretty strong against having any type of contraception to be available to women, and to have it codified into law that businesses can discriminate against contraceptions for women as part of their health insurance policy. And also, considering that they also are pretty much against what we would call liberation theology, which started in Central America in the mid-1980s or 70s, maybe a little bit earlier, which was basically helping the poor to a much stronger degree than what the Catholic bishops are doing now. Now remember, they do a lot of good stuff with the poor, but remember also that the Catholic relief agencies get millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars each year from the federal government to do that work. So we're passing it down to them. They do the work. But And even though they do a lot of good work, they're not as big into this liberation theology as, let's just say, Bernie Sanders is right now. And another term for that, according to our friends in the GOP, would be redistribution. And so they will be gearing up headstrong in the United States in 2016 to make these cultural issues front and center in the presidential primaries and elections. And remember, they have been lockstep with the Republicans for a long time on this. And I'd also just like to end by pointing out, at the same time that they're doing this against women, they are still trying to protect their pedophile priests and still have some pedophile priests who are still active in the priesthood. So they want it both ways. You know, as one of my sisters said at one time, the Catholic Church is by, for, and about white men.